300 years ago, humanity left Earth searching for hope. Today, we are finally coming home. Mars was no longer humanity's greatest frontier. It had become humanity's second home. The pioneers who transformed a dead planet into a living world had one final journey ahead. Leaving Mars was harder than arriving, because this time, they were leaving home. This would become the largest homecoming mission humanity had ever attempted. Most of the passengers had never seen Earth with their own eyes. No one cried because Mars had been conquered. They celebrated because Mars had learned to stand on its own. Humanity's greatest city slowly disappeared behind them, but its legacy would remain forever. For the first time in centuries, humanity was leaving a world it had created. This was not the end of humanity's journey. It was the beginning of a future with two worlds. Even while crossing the darkness of space, humanity carried a small piece of home wherever it traveled. For millions aboard Aurora, Earth was not a memory. It was an unanswered question. They had arrived on a lifeless planet and departed from a world full of life. Long before reaching Earth, humanity surrounded itself with reminders of where it began. Aurora was more than a spacecraft. It was a city sailing between two worlds. The journey home was never idle. Every day carried humanity one discovery farther. Every kilometer carried them farther from one home and closer to another. After centuries apart, Earth no longer looked like history. It looked like home. Humanity no longer belonged to one planet. It belonged to every place where hope could take root. Days passed so peacefully that the journey itself began to feel like home.
For these children, beaches were not memories. They were dreams waiting to become real.
A tiny artificial star carried an entire civilization safely through the darkness. Even between planets, life continued to grow. The farther humanity traveled, the more beautiful the universe became. Every meal carried memories of the past and hopes for tomorrow. Even the hazards of space had become another beautiful part of the journey.
A long journey through space required strong bodies and peaceful minds.
For the first time, Earth no longer looked like a distant star. It looked close enough to touch. The distance between Earth and Mars was no longer measured in millions of kilometers, but in the dreams that connected them. At first, Earth was nothing more than a tiny blue light, but everyone knew exactly what they were looking at. Every sunrise brought Earth a little closer, and every heartbeat carried humanity nearer to its birthplace.
Some remembered the Earth they left behind. Others wondered if it would remember them.
For an entire generation, this was their first glimpse of the planet where every human story began. No simulation had ever captured its beauty. Earth was far more alive than anyone imagined. Earth had continued to evolve, even while Mars was learning how to live. For the first time in centuries, humanity was coming home through the skies of Earth. The color blue suddenly meant something entirely different. Earth had not been waiting to be saved. It had been healing alongside humanity. After centuries apart, humanity had finally found its way back to the last time humanity descended through these skies. Mars was still an impossible dream.
For them, clouds were no longer pictures in history books. They were real. The first thing they noticed was not the cities. It was how alive Earth felt.
Humanity had prepared for this day for generations.
After centuries between two worlds, humanity had finally completed the journey home.
Some journeys end with a destination, and this one ended with a breath. She had spent her entire life dreaming of Earth, and now she could finally feel it beneath her feet.
Mars had taught humanity how to build a world. Earth reminded them how beautiful nature had always been. They came from different worlds, but they had always belonged to the same family. Home was never simply the place where humanity began. Humanity no longer belonged to one world. It belonged to two. Crossing millions of kilometers had become as ordinary as boarding a train.
Distance could separate planets, but it could no longer separate people.
The greatest political achievement was not creating another nation, it was creating one civilization. When two worlds shared their knowledge, progress accelerated beyond imagination. Mars never replaced Earth's cultures. It gave them another sky beneath which to flourish. United by two worlds, humanity was finally ready to reach for 1,000 more. No matter where they were born, every child looked toward the same universe. The solar system had become humanity's shared home. We did not become a multiplanetary species to escape Earth. We became one. For the first time in history, humanity no longer looked up at another world with longing. It looked back with gratitude. To this generation, two planets were simply the beginning. Every civilization believes it has reached the horizon until it discovers another waiting beyond.
Mars was never the destination. Earth was never the destination. They were the launch pads from which humanity learned to reach forever. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until our next adventure, keep looking up.